What's up, guys, and welcome back for another EVE Online video. I'm going to be covering something that's called, well, I like to call it probe marking. It's using scanner probes to actually build bookmarks. So, good for doing perches around gates, around celestials, objects. Now, every celestial, every object has, every grid size kind of changes. Most grids are about 8,000 kilometers, whereas like G244 has like a 70,000 grid. So in terms of like building a perch, getting as far away from that gate as possible and still being able to see ships that are coming through it is a pretty nice, easy tactic. So this is gonna be a little technical, but I'm gonna try to walk you through it. You're gonna need to have your system, your solar system map up, your probe window map up, and obviously you're going to have a probe launcher and stuff. So we're sitting here, we're 100k off of this gate. We want to build a perch. Doesn't matter in what direction. We want to do somewhere around 8 to 9,000 away from the gate, and do it pretty easily. So I'm going to kind of just step you guys through it. So let's go and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decloak, and then we're going to launch our probes, and then we're going to go and wait for the cloak to come back, and we're going to go and recloak. Now, in your probe window, we're going to turn the probe size all the way down to 0.25 AU. And then I'm going to click this first button on the far right. It says center current formation on our ship. And then we're going to hit analyze. Let's zoom out on our system map. You can see once everything gets done, they will be all sitting on grid with us. So let me move all my stuff around here. But this is my PvP view, which shows probes. So you can see they're on grid with us right now. Let's go to our system map here, and now what you can do is, what I like to do is I like to go to the launch spread formation next, zoom out on your system map, and then we're going to bring that size back down to the 0.25 and zoom back in. So here's all of our probes. We're going to hold down control now until these arrows show up, and we're going to start scrolling down just like that. That's moving the probes in, and we're going to scroll all the way down the farthest we can go. Hold down control, and I'll just bring them in. Now, normally I like to start when there's no gaps, where it kind of looks like a star, something like that. And then we're going to go ahead and hit analyze. And what we're looking at is we're looking at these probes right here that are, changing location on grid around us. That's actually a pretty good first attempt there. So we have one here at 6,000 kilometers in that direction there. This other one's at 67. And it's over here, pretty much the cardinal directions for the most part. A couple of them might not be, usually your upper and your lower one are not as far out. And you have one over there. Now, I think we can do a little bit better than this. We're pretty much right next to this gate. I want to try to really kind of get out to near that like grid max. So let's go and hover over our system map, hold down control, and we're going to like roll our scroll wheel up until we hear the sound maybe 1 or 2 times. Right there. And now let's hit analyze again. And this is kind of like a bracketing technique, right? So once, the probes move, we'll be able to see how they change here. And normally when I'm actually saving these, I like to do like 2, so I don't have to like go through the whole thing. So let's go at this 8.5. I like this 8.522 kilometers, 8,522. You just right click on that in the overview here. We'll go save location. I'm going to go, I'm just going to call this one 8K. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to roll it back once. And we're going to do it again. This way I can pull everybody in. I can warp to that 8K bookmark, make sure everything's still on grid. And then if it isn't, we still have, something at like, below 8,000 kilometers. So right here, we're going to go to this 75, 72 kilometer one. We're going to save this location. We're just going to call this one 7K. We'll save that one. All right, now we can just, recall these probes here, and let's go ahead and warp to our 8K. I gotta remove one of the bookmarks I did earlier. So 8K. We can do all this while cloaked, which is nice. There we go. And now you can see we can still see the gate in kilometers. There's nobody on it, and we're pretty far out. That is our 8K. So this would actually be a good one to rename as a perch. But also, if you just have doubts, if you really just want to kind of make sure you're below that 8K, 8,000 kilometer range for that grid, you can always just opt to use like a one that's below that. So this one that we're going to warp to now is like 75,000 from where we started. 7,500. Sorry. So you see this one's about 74, 67 kilometers. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.